gonna rain tomorrow and probably for the next week. This might be the last day when you get of this year, when you get mild temperatures. Yeah, this might be the last chance to go somewhere interesting and have good range and be able to go quickly because you've got enough temperature to keep those batteries working properly. I'm going to go fairly quickly today because the days are shorter now. I do have lights on my bike, but the days are shorter. Gets dark about 6 PM now, and just don't want to be riding in the dark for this. And we're just dropping down into the village of Somerton, which is just along the road from, it's up the canal path from Lower Hayford. So we're just sort of on the edge of the area that people call the Cotswolds. That's actually a huge area though that goes all the way down to sort of around Bristol, which is like a long way away, like, I don't know, 50-60 miles to the southwest. It's down towards Cornwall, you know, down near Somerset. So the Cotswolds is actually quite a big place. But what I mean when I say it is this area nearest to me. We've got one there and one behind. And we've got a big hill here. Where's he going? No indicator. I've got I have to brake very hard on this hill because it's actually very steep hill. So the village continues to the left hand side. Bloody hell. That was dangerous, nearly went into the wall. This is why you need powerful brakes. My brakes are just about... You don't want to have to brake like that when you've just come down that steep hill because your brakes are still hot. Something, it's water running in there. There's a lot of 4x4s in there. Lovely little castle-y thing there, look. See it? Don't know what that's all about. Little castle thing, see? Yeah, this is a really cool village, very middle class. I would imagine the houses are worth, most, you know, some of the houses are probably worth 2 million. At least 1.5 million. Some of the ones around my town, the villages, I passed an estate agent, and some of the farmhouses around my villages are like 1.5 million. This is the canal here. It's actually made it this far down, this far out on my push bike, pedal bike when I was a normal cyclist. actually made it this far out. See, that was collapsed to the left side, so I had to stay in the middle. I made it this far out as a regular cyclist under my own power. There's a lot today, isn't there? Something's making a noise in my wheel. I better stop and check what that is. It's not pleasant. Could be the brakes. Sometimes if a leaf gets stuck in your brakes. This is the house that I would guess would be worth 2 million. 3 million? I don't know. Ignore it. Really quite loud. I had my headphones on before though, so perhaps I just didn't notice it. I can't hang about though, so I'm going to keep going. Yeah, this is the house that I suspect is probably worth millions. It's like one of those houses you used to be able to win in the Daily Mail. You'd have this newspaper and they'd have these like competitions to win houses. But that was when houses were worth a lot less. I don't know what's making that noise. You can see this bike is pretty nippy. We've got about 57 volts, so plenty of power. It probably is the rack, because it wasn't doing it when the rack wasn't on there. It's alright, it's only going to wear away the plastic around the outside of it. Something interesting down there, like black vegetables. This is a very steep hill up here, very steep. It goes on for a long way as well. So you got to remember, I weigh about 100 kilograms, 97 to 100 kilograms, depending on how much. I did get my weight down to like 97. Might have gone up again. I've been eating a lot of chocolate and stuff, and toasted sandwiches, and like cheese toasted sandwiches. Might have to shift into first. To shift into first, I have to hold down this lever. I'm pulling 800 watts in first gear. So yeah, I weigh about 100 kilograms. I've got a big main battery, and then I've got a second battery. So, and I'm also carrying 2 bottles of water, and a few other things. It's not so steep here. There's a few other things as well. Spare inner tubes. That's a new sign. That wasn't like that before, I don't think. Looks new to me. They're replacing all the signs with these ugly modern ones, and I don't like it, to be honest. Look at that door, that's very expensive looking wood. on my old bike, I was like coming the opposite way, coming down the hill. I was about there, and this lorry come up the bloody hill really fast, and I braked, had to brake full power, and the back wheel sort of. That's when I noticed the back wheel would lose traction under heavy braking. We don't need this anymore. Another one coming. That looks like a HS2 lorry or some sort of work lorry. Look at that tree with the hole underneath. Never noticed that before. That's weird. Yeah, those bloody workmen are everywhere. They're all over my area. Whether it's internet cables, power, just changing the road, railways, bloody everywhere. Look at all of them coming out of there. All the posh people. What's going on there then? I know they've got some sort of garden things up there. Is this the right way? Is this the road? Is this the road I'm trying to go down? It's really narrow. Let me just check the tyre pressure. Does it mean one way? I don't think so. Might just mean it's like a single track. I thought it'd be a bigger road. Because I've seen a few cars going down here. But yeah, we're right out. I know there's some like posh things here for middle class people. Plant nurseries and like camping places or something. Places for the middle class girls to hang out or whatever. You know, middle class student girls. It's fly tipped. I think it's all fly tipped. Oh wow, that was pretty down there. Turn around. It's nice, isn't it? Wonder how you get to that. Yeah, it's a different life. It's a different life to between the middle classes of England, the proper, it doesn't even matter if it's 21st century, current modern day. The way these people live is completely different to the guy that's working on a building site or lives in a city and works a minimum wage job or whatever. Completely different. Wave planning, footpath down there. Plan is to go through these 3 villages or whatever up on this hill, and then go up the Rousing Gap, and then up there, cross over that big road, and then go over the other side, and then loop around, looking about the place. Can they see me? Old ladies. So I think we're heading up on one of the villages now. He's going fast. I need to speed up. He's going to run those old women over. I think it's a woman driver. Probably couldn't see perfectly. Might be somewhere I've never been before. There's a new build overlooking that valley, is it? Yeah, it's a nice view. Keep moving before another car comes up there. Very posh. I've got to think, where do I go? That was the Sikh man, I think. North Aston, Middle Aston House, that says. It doesn't say the signpost doesn't lead to the next village, so I'm a little bit confused. I think it's this way, I could be wrong. Middle Aston House, so is that in here? Is that where I'm heading? That was an Indian looking person. I don't know where I'm going. That looks like the house there. I think this is the main public road. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Very cool. Oh, we got a drop now. We got a big drop. Yeah, the hills in this area are a bit more vicious than the ones. They're steeper. There are a few steep hills, but not many in my area. And these ones are worse. Much more. They're worse and there's more of them. Hatch End Industrial Cocktail. I like that. It's weird, but I like it. It reminds me of like a video game or something. I don't know. It's like a video game map or something. That's cool. I really like that old building. I don't know why. I really like it. There's another car. Steeple Aston. Yes. Up there, there's a football pitch up there as well. There's some children. Is this a school? Yes, it's primary. I think it's a primary school. A lovely place to have a primary school. It's playground. There's a playground down there. It's very woodsy here. It's like Wendover Woods or something. You can smell the pine trees or something. There's a graveyard. An old church. Sun's Fir Cottage, that's called. As in fir tree. Sun's really glaring on my eyes now. I see little lanes in between the two houses there. Very nice place. North side. Now there was one village where it sort of continued towards the main road when you went north. I think it might have been this one, so I'm going to have a look this way. Yeah, it's like a big area of England where a lot of the architecture looks similar to this. I think there is some variety as you go towards Bristol, but a lot of it is this sort of stone. As you go up towards Banbury and then beyond to the northeast, the stone turns more reddish, but the style is a little bit similar. The style of, I like this house, the style of the houses in my area, in the nicer villages, it's quite different. You notice the difference. You also notice the difference in, obviously, the dry stone walling. There is some in my area, but not as much. And the plants, the trees and things look different. There's this annoying politician that everyone hates called, I think it's Alistair Campbell or something. He was like big in the New Labour Party. He used to be like a spin doctor, political spin doctor. and I saw him on some program on BBC or something. He was like walking in Scotland or whatever, I don't know, and he was saying, I feel like I'm on holiday. Place is lovely. He was saying that Britain has the most variation in landscape and plants and wildlife and scenery and all that, and architecture as well, to any country in the world. There's no country in the world that varies as much within a short distance. The sad thing is, though, we're like I'd say we're one of the most populated countries in the world, and the most developed. We have the least wilderness of any country. Even Japan has tons of wilderness, like true wilderness, because they have a lot of mountains where you can't build on. I think this goes up towards the main road. So yeah, I'm going to turn around here. Oh, this is a really unusual place. I didn't think I'd see anything like this, to be honest. Oh, he's coming quick. Didn't see his face. He's a young man, I think. This is steep. Unusual place. Get some sort of brain problem, hormone problem. Does he want me to go 30? It's coming up right behind me. Bloody people. And yeah, I basically start drinking water like 5-10 times faster than normal, and it comes out the other side as well. Comes out, has to come out. I think it's this way. So I've only got 2 bottles of water. I've drank like a third of one of them. It's not too bad today, is it? It was pretty bad yesterday, but it's not too bad today. I can usually predict when it's going to be a problem. Yeah, I've been here before. Right, I know where I am now. Right, and I know where there's a good place to stop as well. Just gotta get down there quickly. See, 10% drop here. There's more traffic than I would expect there to be honest. And it's dangerous. It could be dangerous. This is a steep, winding hill, and I'm on a heavy bike with old-fashioned brakes. They're not hydraulic disc brakes. That looks cool down there, doesn't it? Alright, he's stopped there. This is where I wanted to stop. I'm not going to be able to stop where I wanted to stop. Let's turn around. An hour and a half or whatever to get here. Might be more viable with my next bike. Next bike will have similar batteries to this, but it'll be high voltage, and it'll have slightly wider tyres. Depends what I go for. Could go for 2-inch tyres, same with these, or I could go for tyres like what are on my cousin's bike. Let's have a bit of water. This is all up this hill is a beautiful forest on a steep hill though. So this crossroad is a pain in the ass. This crossroad is a right pain. That big bridge there. Yeah, I'd like to try fishing in that river, but it's quite away from it. It's 18 miles. This is 18 miles from home. On the country roads. It's closer in a straight line. If you were going to drive here, if you were going to drive in a car, you'd go along a main road. It wouldn't take too long, but on a bike it takes longer because you have to go on the country roads. Fits in my backpack or whatever. I bought it a few years ago. It's quite a good one. I don't fish much anymore, mostly because of the river in my town isn't as good as it was, and also there's more people in my town, and I don't like to be around lots of people. This nice building here is this is Rouseham Gardens over there. I've never been in there. It's a bit like Stowe, I suppose. It's very interesting. It's like Romeo and Juliet or something. I don't know. It's a bit out of place in England. Go up this hill here, past this woods, and then I'll cross over. Up to there's this big road that runs along here. I can't remember what it's called, but it runs along there, and this place looks really beautiful in the autumn. I had a pic when I first got this motor. I had it on my other bike, and I come up here and I got a nice picture. I think it was in November though, because the leaves were all orange. It was later in the year, I think. Yeah, there was orange leaves on the floor. Now when I found this last year, it was a very quiet road. It probably still is fairly quiet. It was a fairly good quality road. And lots of nature around. So if you turn left and go up there, that takes you to that Kiddington, is it Kirtlington Quarry or something? The place with the satellite dish. That place with the satellite dish, and then you got that villages. I can't remember is it Tackley, I think. Yeah, it's quite nice up that road up there. When you take a left and go up there, it's very very quiet. A bird of prey up there. Type that is. Might be a red kite, might not be. Very pretty. Got sort of black and white feathers underneath their wings. Oh, a bit rough there. So, to that big steep. Yeah, it's getting a big hole there. 55.2 now. So in all the time I've been recording, I've used about just under 2 volts, I guess. I think when you're high up, when you're near full, each volt counts for more, right? So once you cross this road here, that's what I would say, you're entering the Cotswolds properly. I say where I just come from is sort of the edge of the Cotswolds where it starts to transition, and now once you get across here, Deddington, 6 miles. I have to cross over to that part there. Just go here because it makes it shorter to cross across. Right, he's turning off. So there's a track. There's a really nice track down to the left there, and it sort of turns into a bridleway. It goes on for quite some distance, and the first time I come here, I come on my mountain bike, and went down there, went all the way down to the where it meets the road, and it crosses over the road and continues on the other side. So I can't see. Maybe he's just stopping there. There's another one that goes off down that way that I've not been down. This area here is very quiet, very quiet. It looks very nice actually. Sometimes of the year, some weathers, it looks very nice. Not many people live in this area. We're still quite away from where on the YouTube channel of the moto machines. We're still quite away from there, where most of those videos are, if you've seen that channel. This is a really steep hill down here. It's quite a narrow road as well. You need a good brakes. And a bridleway there. God, look at that. How do you get in there? I see a car coming. I think I'll stop. Been ploughed or something. Alright, I'll get down there now. Yeah, I can't remember when it was. It might have been last year. I think it's probably last year. It was the first time I come down there. 2021, I think. There's a pheasant. Something over that side as well. Right, so here, take a right. This one's actually quieter up here. It's a very small track. I didn't see a single car over here last time. The last couple of times. Keep going. I'm guessing they do a lot of shooting and stuff out here. I don't really know. It's very quiet. My plan is to head along to is it over something? I don't know. Or Kiddington or what? It confuses me because you've got a big town down there. There's on that sign that's called Kidding something, and you've got Kirtlington Quarry, and then you've got these tiny villages that are called Kidding something as well. I get really confused. They're all in the same sort of area. Oh, well, I don't need to be in that gear now. I don't need to be spinning that front chainring that quickly. here I can just chill out a bit. Don't need to go too fast. And I don't know if I'm sure they exist, but I don't know of any 2.5 inch puncture proofed tyres. So it may have to be the same one type that are on my cousin's bike that he just got a flat on just recently. It'll wear off if I rest, but it takes a couple of days, Oh, these pheasants. I think when my granddad was alive, when he was sort of my age, there would have been tons of pheasants all around near Buckingham. We used to eat them a lot. Nan, there's a bridle way down there. Nan would cook chips, like the old-fashioned way, where we'd eat some sort of pheasant or rabbit, and we'd have carrots. They'd get carrots, and there'd often be like beans, like the jacket part of the bean. My granddad would like to eat that with salt. Have a lot of salt and pepper. And that was dinner time, you know. That was dinner. It wasn't very, you know, he wouldn't eat peas or things like that. He wouldn't eat. You wouldn't see him eating like tuna or anything too complicated. It'd be simple things that you could get around locally. I'm sure he ate like bacon, sausages, eggs. I'm sure he ate that stuff. Baked beans. This was the dodgy corner. Chill out. I wonder how much that house is worth. Is that just one house or several? It's hard to tell. I don't really care about money, but I do care about wanting to live somewhere traditional like this. I don't think that's going to happen. My town was traditional, as I just explained, not long ago. It's a byway. Gravel byway. So we're at 54, probably 55 volts now. So that's 80% on the main battery. We've got about 47 volts on the second battery, which is a 48 volt battery. So that's about 60%, 55, 60%. I better pull off. Jeremy Clarkson lives about 10 miles from here. Although less than that maybe. On his farm thing, that's been on the TV. What's it called? If I do make a mistake, it's not. That's another like work van for not a private individual, but a big company or government van. You know, if I do make a mistake, it's not too far back to there. I think I'm on the right place, on the right path now. See through there some big barns, buildings. Can't see much. That shouldn't really be on this sort of road. It should be on the main road that I crossed over, you know. This is quite a steep drop here, fast road, steep drop. I've got to keep a good grip on the bike. Start braking now. Steep banks either side. Braking, slightly braking. Just gentle braking when you're going that fast. Slow right down now. That's the thing with these pro cyclists, they don't brake as much. That's one of the reasons they go so fast, is they don't brake as much. So we're going up there now. If you go that way, that's what takes you to Charlbury. And that's one of the ways you can get to Charlbury. Clarkson's Farm. But that's the way I went up to Charlbury last time. Right, so we're going up here. This is getting really steep. I think I'm going to have to increase to pound weight 2. 900 watts. I have to pedal a bit. So we're doing over 900 watts now. In first gear. Not going to pedal too much. Nice place. Little birds. May 2021. So that would have been last year. 2020 I wasn't cycling. Early 2020. Very narrow, you would struggle to get the car down there. You can barely fit. Actually no, there's like a drop off to the left here, and then there's like a river valley sort of thing down there. I don't know if you can't really see the water right now, but there is some sort of stream or river down there. That's a massive drop down to my left hand side. We haven't had any punctures so far, and I hope it stays that way. I do have two inner tubes, but they're ones that I've repaired previously. One of them was my own repair, and it seemed to hold for a while before I changed it. The other one was a puncture repair kit, but there were 2 holes. I haven't tested yet whether it holds the water or not, holds the air or not, I mean. Coming up on the old mill house now, I think it is. Restricted byway up there as well. It's very overgrown, forlorn. Forlorn is the word. Some orangey, plasticky crap. This is a very remote house. Someone working there. They've got an old water mill. See that there? So I just ran over that piece of wood. We've got all this, see that water running down there? check my that one says footpath to Cleverley. Well, that's where I'm going, Cleverley. So I don't know if there's any private ways down there. I don't know. I've not checked it out on the map, but I'm going to have to cut down into first gear. It'd be interesting to explore this area more, but I'm just so far from home. 900 watts in first gear, and I'm going very slowly. Should have took more of a run up. Yes, this is one of the steepest little hills I've come across. Some sort of thing here. Some sort of businesses or something, I'm not very sure. Very quiet place, very quiet. So from here I'm heading to Cleverley. I've never been through that way. Heading to Cleverley and then to Enstone, and then I'm gonna go home go to Enstone and then go home. So I'm not really going super far out today. There'll still be a brighter way there as well, so you can't see it where it would be. Still going to take me a good 4, maybe 5 hours. Sometimes these trips take me 6 or 7 hours. Are we coming this way? Let's see what's down there. I don't remember going down this way. Oh right, I remember. One of them goes to the main road. I think it's probably that one goes to the main road. That's a very old countryside looking person, character. One of them goes to the main road. I'm sure this is the one I need to. So I remember getting lost here before, and then with my cousin we checked and we ended up going back that way. This one doesn't seem familiar and it goes in the direction that I need to be going, so I'm sure it's this way. Christ, imagine having a 4x4 coming at you down this little road. That tree's nice. Yeah, in winter, sadly, those longer trips aren't. I mean, they are possible, but the days are shorter. It's cold. It's and you get less range when your batteries are cold below 10C. You're getting less range. See that there? Yeah, it's quite different to my area of the country, but I can't really, it's hard to really explain it. If you look at my videos, you'll probably be able to understand what I mean. That looks inviting down there. Very inviting. so tempted to just have a little look what's down there. Let's just look a little way. It's very hilly. It's very hilly. Guys that cycle like from one side of the country to the other in one day, they do like 200 kilometres, like 250 kilometres or so in one day. Takes them like 12 hours. My dad did 120 miles in one day. So. Footpaths. I had a little bit of a walk along, see something up there. I had a bit of a guess where it would come out and this village. I was heading for anyway. This very old door. Very old looking door. It's made of oak. Definitely Victorian, possibly older. River Glen. Big here. It's like a pond, is that a pond? A lake? It's really picturesque, isn't it? There's a house up there, the end. It sort of loops around here, and you've got a lake there. Bridge there. Another steep hill climb here. This bike is pretty useful for these Cotswolds hills. Don't know how good a hub motor would be at this, even if it is able to pull 3,000 watts. Just worried the car's going to come really fast around this as I'm looking sideways. Something there. Right away up there, look. All of them are weird. Maybe they're celebrities. I'm trying to see how close I am to where I came from. Is this going to be a really steep hill? Where the hell am I going? We've skipped so much of it. He's meowing at me. I can't I'm lost. That splits off down there. I really am in back waters of England now, aren't I? I think I can see. That's pretty wild. Look at that. That's crazy. I see the trees. I see the trees where I've come from. But that's really nice. I bet that's worth a lot of money, those properties. This is where I come from. Quite a steep climb. That's a really steep climb. Double the height of a house. Double the height of one of those houses. Climb that in 20-30 seconds. Yeah, I just thought I'd come to this area, sort of Cotswolds, which is a bit closer to me. It doesn't take as long to get to, and have a good look around. I mean, thankfully they don't seem to be developing this area of the countryside any further. Now there's a few more being houses in certain places, and there I think that's kind of like a private track. Like, well, probably just goes to someone's house. Still, it's probably like 1 PM now. So we've got plenty of time before sunset. Wow, look at that. It's not going to take me long to look straight through that. It's not going to take me long to rush back down that big road. That's very well designed. It's not going to take me long to rush down the road from Stoney to Lower Hayford. That probably goes back up to that A road up there. They've got plenty of firewood, much like some of those houses I saw in Hef. Or shed, I think. How many things go on? Get a move on. I did have the option of going to a shop because I've got my combination lock and I've got like £10. So I was thinking, oh, there's a lot of doves up there. Lots of white doves, I think they are down here. The doves. It's like my granddad's racing pigeons, the way they're flying about looks like my granddad's racing pigeons. Should I take this as some sort of omen? Do you think the war in Ukraine is going to end soon? Something like that. And we see all these white doves up there. Rock shops in the front. Probably been doing some pretty serious biking there. I think I've got to go along a B road. I think I've just got to take a right. I'm trying to think if I've been here before on this road. something across there. Quite steep this is. And it's like an old Rover car. I don't know if it's a Rover or a Jaguar, but you don't see many Rovers anymore. There's a big old bird of prey there. Yeah, you don't see many Rovers anymore. I can't figure out what any of that is I'm looking at over there. It just looks like trees to me. If I was more familiar with the landscape, I'd be able to pick out various locations over there just by looking at them. Just by looking at the tree line and whatever. That's the flying club over there. So that track I was on earlier, if I'd have gone the other way, it would take me out just along here. It goes past this nice little streamy area with where like these streams run down the side of the rocks down the edges of the road. So I'm putting 700 watts now. I'm in like 5th gear in power mode 2. Go quite fast like that on the main battery. I'm probably doing like 25 miles per hour, something like that. With the amount of battery I've got left, I can probably maintain this speed all the way home. The problem is that this motor starts to slow down once you get to it, the wattage cuts down to like 500 once you get below 47 volts. So you can't really like go fast once you're on like below 50% battery on the second one. Below like I don't know 40% on the main or whatever. Truck coming. Just to the right there, that's where that other track comes out that I was on earlier. When it goes to that crossroads.